Okay. Good morning. Let's see what's going to happen today. This has been a crazy week, honestly, guys. Totally crazy week. So, I don't know. I don't think I'm handling it with grace. Don't think I'm handling it with grace. I should be doing better. I should be doing much better. But having said that, let's see what is on the agenda for today. I'm going to try to stay focused, stay level-headed, and not freak out. Easier said than done, right? Just when the market is so hot, it's crazy. All right, so I'm going to look at some of the basics this morning. Producer price index coming out at 8:30 a.m. Okay, looks like things might rebound today. And if we look at the, let's see. If we look at the S&P, okay, interesting. So we're definitely on a pullback here. So this is the low of the dip. Oops. We're definitely on a pullback on the S&P. Good morning, Aligos. Hey. Just kind of getting the lay of the land, not jumping in too quickly. Just trying to see what's going on. This has been a crazy week, honestly. I think I let my emotions get to me too much this week. So I'm going to try to, you know, really be patient, ease into things, not let my emotions drive the bus. So yeah, S&P, let's see, 722. It dipped as low as 722. So let's kind of see where that's headed today. Silver dipped down too. These are just things I'm sort of tracking. I'm interested in trading silver, but kind of just watching it, you know? All right, let's see if anything popped up to watch. I feel like a lot, like me, I'm sure there are people that wish they could have capitalized more on this week's amazing volume. I feel like I didn't really optimize it. So let's see if today I can get back in the driver's seat. So PPBT is driving up. Not a lot of total volume. Low float. So I added some columns to my watch list. This is the daily 200 simple moving average. So, and this is the, what did I put? This is the high, but I think it only does the market high. And relative volume, hard to borrow. Let's see. let's see, Purple Biotech presents new preclinical data at EARC 2026 highlighting, okay, so we've got news. We've got actual news. Yeah, it's popping up. Let's see what it does. Is this that morning star again? I think I'm starting to recognize the patterns. That's next week's goal. But it looks like that is a nice. Aligos, you really capitalized on that. Right away, you jumped in. Nice. Very nice. You just got the momentum right away. That's awesome. In and out. This one right here, right? Yep. In and out. You just like zip. Wow, 39 cents a share. That's awesome. I mean, a lot of these, when they pop up, they just, that's it, right? They're in, this could just make a complete round trip. So they have news though. But I don't know, news doesn't seem to really matter that much anymore. Things were just, so many things were going up without news, right? It was crazy. So things are looking up today. Says stock futures are pointing to a rebound today, climbing after an early sell-off driven by escalating U.S.-Iran strikes. Okay. Rough trading session yesterday where major indices closed in the red as chip stocks dropped and geopolitical tensions rose. So might have more activity today. You aimed for the entry above the red candle body and it climbed with momentum, so you got in. Above the red candle right here. Awesome. Yeah, that just shot up. Nice trade. Nice trade. I'm actually gonna start with 50 shares. I'm gonna start slow today and see if I get a green trade, then I'll go up to 100. How's that? I'm feeling kind of conservative. Feel like starting slow. ELAB. I don't have great luck on this one. This looks kind of choppy. I've traded it, but okay, that's not going anywhere. PPBT. Let's see, WBX. You're like, now I can have coffee. I know, I've got my tea. I didn't make my juice this morning. I ate late last night, so I'm not feeling it this morning. I'll have juice later. I have a new juicer. So excited about it. Let's see what's going on. It feels kind of slow. Maybe because it's been so crazy. So crazy this week. Like, at some points it was dead, at other points it was crazy. Let's see. Oh, a lot of these things popped up between 4 and 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, huh? These are like the same players. CCHH, let's see. CCHH. This has really high relative volume. This has really high relative volume. 35.7 times its 50-day average. 30,000 shares. It's hard to borrow. Oh, that's interesting. It just tapped this level right here. So that could be a point of resistance. So I'm getting to the point where I really wanted more information. So I added, this is the 200 simple moving average. And this is the high of day, but I guess it won't kick in until the regular market hours. So maybe I don't need that really. I mean, I don't want so much on my columns that I'm like exhausted by it. I'm going to say watch list B because I think I have too many watch lists going on. Okay, so right now I have this right here is the 200 simple moving average, but it's not calculating that for CCHH. So, because I like to see if there's like resistance or, so here, 346, doesn't seem to make a difference here. But I'm really getting to the point where I kind of want to see VWAP again. I'm getting to that point where I'm like, I really want to see VWAP. So I'm thinking about adding that back on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Edit studies. VWAP. Okay. I'm adding VWAP back on, guys. It's been like 3 weeks since I used VWAP, but I think that that one and the 200 simple moving average, the daily, 200 daily, I think are the ones I've missed the most. So I'm going to see what happens when I have a few indicators on my charts. This week I'm working on candlestick shapes, candlestick lengths and shapes. Next week I've already planned to work on patterns, but yesterday was really a light bulb moment, and I feel a little embarrassed that I don't know this stuff yet, but I'm learning, right? On my Substack, I went over like 4 shapes: the hammer, the inverted hammer, the hanging man, and the shooting star. And what I'll probably do is try to dial in on a few different candlestick shapes each week, even though that won't be my main goal, you know, to kind of like slowly get better at it, because I feel like I do need to get better at that pattern recognition. Maybe it's intuitive for some people, but you know, I'm still, for some reason, it just didn't come naturally to like recognize the shapes. So, all right, I've got VWAP back on. Yeah, I was just feeling like I wanted to see, first of all, I wanted to focus on level 2, reading the tape and the chart, which is good. I feel like I'm doing that, definitely. But I also wanted to see like, what am I really missing? What do I really need as far as indicators? I didn't want to put necessarily everything back on. I might, but I felt like I don't want to look at the indicators instead of looking at the fundamentals, if that makes sense. So, and the funny thing is, one of the reasons I know I really wanted to put VWAP back on is because I kept trying to guess where VWAP was. Like, where is it? And I really wanted to start working like the VWAP reclaim, break of VWAP setup. Difficult to spot. Yeah, I think it is, because it's not perfect, right? And actually, it's funny that you say that, because after I posted my Substack article, one of the things that I was thinking was, well, okay, if you have like, say, a hammer candle, right, where it has like the body at the top and then the long wick. What if it has a tiny little wick at the top? How do you know, like, if it's still a hammer? Thank you. Yeah, I think VWAP, I just kept trying to guess where VWAP was. You know, I did obviously put the volume bars back on. That was really important. I put a column for the 200 simple moving average, and I have VWAP. So far, that's what I have. And I might put the other ones back on eventually, but I just want to make sure that I'm not ignoring the fundamentals and overthinking the signals that they're sending me, you know? But oh, what did it say? There was actually, oh shoot, I hope I saved it. There was actually like a percentage. I think it said that if the top wick is 10 to 20% of the length of the candle, it's still a hammer. Because the thing is that it is a little subjective, right? At what point is it a hammer, and at what point does it become a, what is it, a spinning top? So, you know, I don't want to be too rigid about the whole thing, but like, for example, on Monday, I posted some candlestick shapes that I was like, all right, these are the ones I'm going to start with. So, you know, at what point is it a hammer and then it becomes a spinning top? And there's some subjectivity to that, of course, obviously, which is what makes trading different for all of us, right? Because I'm looking at one thing, we're all looking at the same charts, but I'm seeing one thing, you're seeing something else. Okay, so PPBD made a round trip. Now, this is really interesting to me because now that I've put VWAP back on my chart, this is extremely interesting to me because in the past, I would have been like, oh, it broke VWAP, I'm out, I'm done. But of course, what I was thinking when I looked at it while it was moving was if it breaks this level of support, it's done. Because I think with these stocks that pop up real fast, then the VWAP is like, I have to check, I have to double check, but I think that it's calculated at the market start, right? So the VWAP during pre-market, I think, is an estimate. I'm going to check that, but EDHL, let's look. All right. So, ooh, okay, nice. I'm going to try not to get distracted by VWAP. I'm going to try to look at it as additional information. Okay, now this is interesting. It popped up here. There was a window here. It's driving up higher. It's dipping down. So there's definitely hesitation around right over 8, between 8 and 850 up. It's definitely hesitating. Wow, it's so weird to have VWAP on my chart again. This is so weird, guys. Wow, really strange. I see now why I was so distracted by it before. Interesting. Very interesting. So we've got a pullback. Volume is decreasing. See, this candle, this candle, this candle. That's something that I put back on my charts right away. I only traded without volume for a brief amount of time because I was trying to watch the volume on the tape. It's hovering right under 8. Broke 8 up. 788, 826, 803, 820, 7. So it's really hovering right around 8 now. It's a pretty this is a pretty clean pullback. This is a pretty clean pullback. So weird to have VWAP back on my chart. I have to not overthink it, but I just kept asking myself, where is it? Where is it? I felt like I really wanted that information. Now that I have it on here, I'm trying to picture without it. I'm trying not to look at just that. And I'm kind of feeling like I don't want the 200 simple moving average on here. I'm going to take that off. Remove. Save. Yeah, just going to keep it real simple. So I'm just trying to keep it real simple. So I have, but hard to borrow, easy to borrow. That was nice to have on here. I really like that. And of course, relative volume, I think, is really helpful. RKDA. We've seen that a lot lately, right? Oh, wait, there might be a breakout here on, okay. It was hesitating too much for me, so I got out. Okay, so I watched Ross Cameron's recap last night. He said, maybe I misunderstood, but I thought he said he had 200 transactions, meaning like 100 trades yesterday. That's crazy. But it just goes to show he knows how to dial it up for a hot market, right? I took, when it broke the high, I got in, but it was hesitating, and I tried to just get out green. So I'm actually going to transfer that to my trades view. That way I can sort of, I'm going to kind of slow down a little bit today by importing my trades. I'm going to use that to kind of keep me from getting too emotional and jumping back in on things too quickly. Which definitely I am guilty of. So I've got one little trade, EDHL, and I'm going to tag it a high of day breakout. But it was also kind of like a break of the whole dollar, right? No, not really. It was really a high of day breakout. Okay, so exited on price hesitation. Thank God for Grammarly. Okay. So, all right, one little green trade here. Right. Yeah, he does. He's like scaling in and scaling out, which I am not at that level. I'm not even consistently profitable yet, guys. But yeah, he scales in, up, and scales out, right? Over 965. Okay. So I put VWAP back on my, hey, flip-flop. You're only a half hour late. I did not want to get out of bed today. I was super tired. But no rest for the wicked, right, guys? No rest for the wicked. So, yes, I put VWAP back on. That's the big news today. All right, so here, this looks like a potential on the uptrend shooting star. I'm going to try to say them out loud because I was working on a bunch of candle shapes for Monday. Oh, it might break over. So actually, I didn't put my trade in the chat here. I only did 50 shares. I was being conservative because oops. Okay, so that's the trade. I only did 50 shares. Kind of, starting a little slower today. Give myself a chance to kind of get green. Yeah, I really wanted to sleep in flip-flop. I'm so tired. All right. So, yep. All right. So the big news today, I added VWAP back onto RDKA. Let's see. RDK. Oops. Couldn't add that. RKDA. Okay. RKDA. Oops. Let's take a look. Okay. Now see, this is where I get really influenced by the indicators. I'm like, right away, I'm like, oh, it's below VWAP. But really, this is what I should be looking at. But VWAP is maybe what I should be looking at too, right? So EDHL broke 10 briefly, broke 10 a little bit here. I wonder if it'll break 10 again. It's kind of consolidating sideways, volume's decreasing. I think it might break out, but it might break out. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's just going to fade off of that level. So because this is the top of the last move, so this was resistance for this move, and it's kind of breaking that level of support. And this right here could be a shooting star. Because what I realized yesterday, so embarrassing that I'm just learning this. However, this is where I'm at in my journey. The candlestick shapes. I really had been kind of avoiding, because I'm not like a strict memorizing person, but I think that at this point, it's really going to help me to do that. So yesterday I was trying to work out the hammer, the inverted hammer, the hanging man, and the shooting star, and how to interpret it on the bullish trend or the bearish trend. So here, if we've got an uptrend, well, this is also a shooting star, although this has they have bottom wicks, but the top wick is a lot longer, right? So this did dip, popped up, dipped again, popped up, dipped again. So these are all shooting stars, right? Might test 10 again. Might test VSA. Oh. Had to get out. Popped up and rejected. All right. So that I tried to do a break of 10. And nope. Oh, it's going to go back up. It's hovering right under 11. I'm in at 1082. Okay, that was just a break. I just wanted to get out a break even. That was too messy. So Are you kidding me? Gap at 27, EDHL back in, wow, okay, so this could keep going. Now I feel like I'm just chasing it. Breathing. I have to breathe, right? Now I feel like I'm just chasing it. All right. Ooh, nice. Stargazer. That is a good entry. Yeah, look at that. Wow. So this is the third pullback. 1, 2, this is the third pullback. BBX. It is the third pullback, so. Did you get out, Stargazer? That's an awesome trade. The 7, 19, 20, and 21. 7, 19. '19, 20, 21 formed a white soldiers formation. I'm going to write that down. Good morning, James. Great bullish. It is. Yeah, it is. Three green candles is. I'm going to put. Thank you for mentioning the pattern. This is going to go on my that's my goal for next week, is to focus on that. Well, I'm red on it now. So, my second trade was a doozy. I'm not even sure how much I lost, actually. Let me see. Export to file. Ooh, okay. Thank you. I like the names. See, this is definitely something, I think this will help with my pattern recognition, right? This will definitely help with my pattern recognition, which is something that I feel like I really need to work on. Let's see. So let me put the other trades in. Import file. All right. All right, so this one was I was looking for the break over 10. Break over 10. And then here I was just, honestly, it was just a momentum re-entry, and price was dipping, so I got out break even. So, yep, at break even. So this one was, why can't I do the math? 80 divided by 50. Ugh. So that one was EDHL negative. And then the other one was just break even. Let's just EDHL. It was a scratch. Trade. You're out. 11:20. Nice. You guys are really making the most of this. None of the bodies can intersect the tails of the candles, but not the bodies. Oh, okay. Okay. That's so helpful, Stargazer. Thank you. I think this is the pattern recognition that I'm definitely wanting to develop, for sure. And it'll give me like a mental framework. Because like you're saying over here, okay, so over here, this one, and this one, the bodies aren't overlapping. So it's literally opening right where the previous candle closes. It might dip or pop up, but got it. This is helpful. Very helpful. And so this this is a shooting star, right? So now if this, of course, at this point, it's broken the last level of support, right? So now it's like broken this level. But if I were going to get in again, I would be looking for a bullish reversal, right? Like a hammer at the bottom, right? So that's what I'm thinking. All right, so here, these aren't clear. But this is pretty obvious that this is the first pullback, second pullback, third pullback. Ugh, I really flubbed it, but okay, it's fine. It broke the uptrend line. That too, okay, that too. Yep. It broke the uptrend line. I'm just writing down a question that I have. This could be, I don't know, an ABCD. I don't think so. I don't think this is the ABCD pattern. I really struggle to see that one. I'm just wondering what's more important. If it breaks support as terms of price level, like this level of support, or the trend line. Honestly, it seems to me that breaking the trend line is more important. MASK. All right, let's go through our list here. So now this is really interesting to me. Now that I put VWAP back on my chart, guys, give me like 5 minutes. I have to take a really quick break. I'll be right back. Actually, I'm all set. Okay. All right, I'm back already. All right. Let's see. Sorry. All right, so we're looking at both sides of it. Stargazer's looking at the long side, and flip flop, you were looking at possibly the short side. Yep, hard to borrow and thinkorswim too. So Oh, this is kind of hard to draw a trend line, I think. Only has a few candles. I feel like that's hard to draw right now. So I tap this, let's see. All right, so it tapped up here. You did. Look at you. Working both sides of the fence. I mean, I would love to be able to do that eventually. That's like my I'm scared to short, but maybe when I'm like an advanced trader many years from now. It would be nice to work is that the hammer? EDHL. Let's see. The hammer. So this one right here, I think, is a hammer. But, well, no, because a hammer is on the downtrend, right? This is starting to trend back up. So would that be a hanging man? But it didn't signal a bearish reversal. I'm sure they're not absolute, but okay. Not yet. Honestly, I feel like it's affecting me a little too much. It's distracting me, but that's a good question, HG. I think maybe when, like, in the pre-market, when stuff's popping up quickly, I'm not sure VWAP really matters for something like this. But maybe as we get deeper into the morning, VWAP might play a larger role. Because see, right at the beginning of the move, I don't think VWAP's helpful at all. But now, as it's trending, it's still above VWAP, right? So I guess on EDHL, I would say that it might keep going up at some point. I just don't want it to overly influence me. I want to use it as a tool, but I don't want it to overly influence me. Yeah, MACD, I really, really, really used MACD a lot. So I don't know. I might put them all back on eventually. I just want to make sure that I'm not just using the indicators. And I want to make sure that I'm actually reading the charts, looking at the tape, looking at level 2. I feel like the indicators should be the extra thing. But yeah, VWAP is definitely interesting, like RKDA. It's just that over the last week or two, I kept trying to, oh, VWAP, okay. Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially, I also wanted to practice doing, I've done it before, but trade like a break of VWAP. I think that's called VWAP reclaim. So I can't do that without VWAP on my chart. But I don't know. I don't want to be overly influenced by it, but I kept trying to guess where VWAP was, which told me that I really wanted that information. So I guess I haven't really felt like I have to put MACD back on yet. I do keep asking myself where the 9 EMA is. Like, I keep trying to guess. Like with EDHL, I keep saying, like, I'm thinking to myself, oh, is this just like tapping along the 9 EMA? But I don't know. I feel like that might be more distraction than, you know. MACD is what you use for your trading window, HG? Okay, because I definitely traded with the MACD. Like, I paid attention to that. So it is kind of changing how I'm seeing this, but if I kind of adjust the level of support to here, I think so, but it looks like there's definitely a battle. One of the questions I wanted to keep asking myself this week is like, what is the dominant candle of the session? And right now, I still feel like the dominant candles are green. Like this one, and it is above VWAP. But that's what I probably would have guessed anyway, given the chart patterns. But you know, having the relative volume and the hard to borrow and easy to borrow, that's been really helpful. So this, I'm going to look at it on the 5-minute. It's a little bit clearer on the 5-minute. On the 5-minute, it looked like this was the third, I mean, the 1-minute, this was the third pullback, but on the 5-minute, it's really the second pullback. So if you can even call, yeah, this is a pullback. So maybe she's not done yet because even though I'm not trading the pullbacks, I realize that I still need to look at the pullbacks, right? And see how many there are, because that shows people taking money off the table. Oh, wow. Look at MASK. Holy moly. That, I'm sorry, holy moly is super goofy, but I can't swear. I swear so much in my real life, but I know I'm not supposed to swear on my live stream because don't you get like dinged or something for that? So I'm saying all these goofy things like, holy smokes. Sorry about that. But those are all the places where I would say swears in my real life. Okay, so MASK, you know, now before I would just be like, oh, it's below VWAP, but I think the story is more than that, right? It's obviously more than that, because I'm not sure VWAP is really the thing to look at here. I would say obviously it's a round trip. So, oh my goshness. Aw, that's cute. I swear way too much. I'm from a working class town. And here, I don't know if you've ever seen the Dunkin' Donuts skits with like Casey Affleck and Matt Damon, but like that is exactly the kind of neighborhood I live in. Mark, you can't smoke in here. I'm not. You are. That's exactly the kind of neighborhood I live in. So if you're not swearing, people don't trust you around here. All right, FGL short. Cool. Okay, let's take a look. All right, so, ooh, okay, nice. I reduced my share size, guys, because of that big red trade. I just want to get my confidence back and see if I can work my way back to green. Flip-flop. That's a beautiful short. Wow. So again, with the VWAP thing, I feel like it's not really helpful right at the beginning of the move. I feel like it's more helpful deeper in, but I was always confused by that. And I think that was one of the reasons why I wanted to take it off for a while. I was just really confused. I'm like, well, you know, what's going on here? I think in this case, VWAP is not even something to look at. Because inevitably there's going to be some pullback, right? A first pullback. That's a great short. Holy wow. I wonder how many of the new traders in the market who are trading with settled fund, like trading it with a margin account. Wow, look at that flip-flop. Wow. Okay, now that's kind of interesting. It made pretty much a round trip, but now it looks like it's trying to make a quick, nope, nope. The shorts are like, nope, that's not happening. Nice. Very nice flip-flop. SXTP. Oh my goodness. See, again, I feel like when it first pops up, VWAP is not helpful at all. And I was very confused by that when I first, honestly, I was just confused by that. To be like, well, it's not above VWAP. And then, I mean, maybe that's a signal that it's just going to pop up in short. I don't know. But wow, look at that. That's crazy. VRA. You guys are seeing them pop up faster than I am. Even though I'm red on the day, I guess I don't feel a lot of urgency right now. I don't know why I'm not feeling any urgency, which is good. Maybe I just don't care about revenge trading today. I'm red, but maybe I'll make it back. I'm just going to trade with smaller share size and try to rebuild up my confidence and not stress about it too much. I'm trying not to stress too much about things and just focus on learning. I feel like if I focus on that and manage my risk, it's going to be fine in the long run. So again, here, I feel like VWAP's not really helpful here, but I want to see what's going on with EDHL. Okay, now, well, this is really interesting to me. It's sort of trading in this band. Now, before I put VWAP back on, I would say, oh, it's bouncing off this level of support. But I guess that level of support could also be considered VWAP. But VWAP is, yeah, I know. Look at that flip-flop. Look at that. The volume bars. Crash. But yeah, let's see what happens if it breaks. So this is where I feel like VWAP is more helpful. Like over here, the opening move, that first momentum, not helpful. But as things progress, it seems to get more and more helpful. And when I did my video on VWAP, honestly, you know, it's so interesting to like kind of think about what I was figuring out when I first did some of my videos. If I'm not mistaken, VWAP flattens out over the course of the day. So it starts at market open and it's more volatile in the beginning and then it flattens out over time. PMAX trying to short. Let's see. Ooh, that's dropping fast. Do you have time to, yeah, do you have time to, it didn't give you time. It just, oh, now it's popping back up. I don't know why I don't feel a sense of urgency about making my money back. I'm kind of being lazy about it. Like right now, I am down $39. I'm red, but I'm not, I don't know, I'm just not feeling the urgency. So this is where VWAP is kind of helpful because it's breaking what I'm seeing as support and bouncing up, but maybe people are seeing it bounce off of VWAP because so many people look at that. Yeah, I'm just feeling a lot less urgency today. Sorry, guys. Not as exciting, but I think I just want to like really look at the charts, really watch the charts and get a sense of what's going on. All right, so this is where VWAP used to really, really influence me. But I think what I'm noticing now that I've done some time without it is that this move is almost back to the bottom. It's way more than 50% of this. Might come back, but RKDA, this is where I think VWAP is really helpful, right? Because it popped up. Oh, this is, wait, Thursday. Yep, this is popped up, and it's just kind of trending below VWAP. This is where I feel like it's really helpful. UBXG. Ooh, yikes. That's kind of crazy. Okay, PPBT is pretty much dead. PMAX, wow. Okay. It's just a lot of stocks popping up and making a round trip. Oh, I just took that other one off accidentally. Oh well. FGL, again, just kind of popping up, making a round trip. I guess this is like a lot of people either buying and selling or buying and shorting. Oh, that's the one that came off my PMAX. Let's see. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Does this mean there are more shorts in the market, or does this mean there are people that are just buying and selling compulsively because they're new to trading? This is interesting to me. I haven't been trading that long, but this feels different. VRA. So now this is where I do think it is helpful to look at, once that initial move is over, then I feel like VWAP is more helpful. Yeah, PMAX is nuts. I know I might not, I probably won't trade this again, but I'm really just trying to make sense of what I'm looking at. And I think that here, after the initial move, I think that's where VWAP is probably more helpful. But for those stocks that just pop up on that initial move, I don't think VWAP is helping me at all. I just have to make sure I'm using it as confirmation and not as like the decision maker, the main decision maker. Yeah, I'm just kind of watching. It's bouncing off of support. I think so, Legos. I think that's a healthy mindset. I mean, like, yeah, I hate when I feel like that. Like, oh man, I got to make it back, you know? I hate that. UBXG, too fast, too short. Yeah, there's a lot here for you today, flip-flop. There's a lot for you. TGL got 670 short covered at 580, so that's 90-cent win. Wow, they're moving fast, right? Like these shorts are moving fast. They're moving super fast. Wow. Look at that. That's literally popped up and popped back down. Wow. That's incredible. That is simply incredible. Yeah, I'm not feeling the urgency. I just, you know, if I see something, I'll try it, but not feeling, because that way leads destruction. I just lowered my share size. I should have done it after the second trade, which was the red trade. I got in on the third trade on 50 shares. Now I'm down to 25 shares. If I start getting green trades again, then I'll scale back up to 100. But I just, you know, that's when I want to scale my share size, is when I'm having red trades, and you know, if I'm on a red streak, this will minimize the damage. And if I start going green again, then I can size back up. You know, I feel like that's totally okay. I know it's frustrating to like inch back up with small green trades, but I would rather do that than end up digging myself into a deeper hole with, I mean, you know, and I started with only 50 shares today because I was like, I don't know, just kind of, this week has been crazy and volatile. And actually, no, I do know why I started with 50 shares, because I watched Ross's recap last night and he said that's, I might be misquoting him, but I think that's what he said was, if you feel like the market is crazy volatile, the way to handle it is to reduce share size. And I was like, yeah, that's true. So that's why I did it. Because I was thinking it's been volatile. Like I should be capitalizing more on this week. But, you know, wow, look at that. Yikes. Hope nobody got caught in that. That's crazy. So yeah, so do you think money is going to start moving out of semiconductors, AI, and into the space? I do. I would not be surprised. Yes, spoke side. I would not be. I'm actually surprised there haven't been more space stocks popping this week already. I was expecting that. I mean, I thought everyone would be so excited about it, and I thought there would be a ton of space stuff, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't had a lot of time to investigate. I should have learned more about the IPO this week because it's such a big deal. It really is a big deal. But you know, I've been trying to catch snippets here and there. Like I watch Ross's recaps and stuff like that. And I think he did a video on SpaceX, which I did watch a lot of that. I mean, I think it's going to be a huge deal, right? Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought today there'd be more space stuff popping up. I like space stuff. Anyway, I think that's really cool. I mean, honestly, I would never go into space myself. I'm a little bit claustrophobic. So I don't think I could live in like one of those space stations. But I just think it is so amazing that we figure out what's out there, you know? I know this is really off topic, but I read Stephen Hawking's A Brief History in Time twice, and I barely understood a lot of it. But what I got from it was, and of course, I feel like that book is super annoying because on the back cover, it's like, oh, and easy to read. I'm like, this is not easy to read. Okay, let's face it. Maybe if you're a astrophysicist, it's easy to read. But anyway, what I took away from it is that a lot of the understanding of space and time is like theory, right? Which is all of science. The edge of science is theory. And I just think it's so incredible to be in an age where we have the technological capability to explore that edge. And, you know, scientists, they keep revising their theories as new discoveries are made. Because I think at one point in his book, he talks about how he wrote some theorem or wrote some, you know, equation or whatever, and then he had to go back and revise it. Or no, actually, I think he was talking about Einstein, the theory of relativity. There's like multiple theories of relativity. Anyway, this is extremely off topic, but I do think that the space stuff, I'm really surprised there's not more of it popping today, because maybe I'm more fascinated with that stuff than other people, but I thought it's just cool. Like, I don't know. The idea that I took my kids to Houston one year, and we went to the Johnson Space Center, and you can touch a piece of the moon. Like, they have a piece of the moon under glass and you can like touch it. It's so cool. Wow. Spokeside, that's deep. Firms may be selling space stocks to buy SpaceX. Ooh, Stargazer. That's interesting. That's what I'm saying. Like, I love the fact that it's such an unknown frontier. That in our deep oceans, of course, but like, you know, the edge of science is theory. And it's crazy to me, like, okay, we're all numbers people, obviously, because we're trading, right? We're numbers people to some extent. Pattern recognition, numbers, all of that. To some extent, we're all mathematically minded in some level. I think some of you are more mathematically minded than I am. But I'm so fascinated by the fact that some mathematical computations, like these brilliant people, are struggling to resolve parts of their mathematical computations. And that math at some level also becomes theory. I just mind blown, you know. So I'm shocked that the space stuff isn't flying today, but I'm a new trader. What do I know? I think that look at this. Look at EDHL. What? What? It is trying to pop back up. So I'm just really, it's so interesting to me. Oh my goodness. If this breaks high of day, should I get in? Should I be brave? I'm not going to hold my breath. Legos. I'm in with 25 shares at 13.56. It's really, really struggling at 1260, 1280. Everyone goes quiet. But everyone is me, flip-flop. Let's see. I'm still red. This is like a weird pattern. Okay, I know I'm red and I probably shouldn't be like chit-chatting about this, but I do feel like this is like a super weird candlestick pattern, right? Like, what's going on here? It looks like really long wicks, tiny bodies, which is indecision, right? There's definitely a lot of indecision here. Right. Yep. This big volume on this candle here, big volume here, big volume here, even though it's like okay, that was a good one. I probably got out too early, but this is the beauty of retired. Fido is like, sell it. I did. I got out, guys. I got out. That was a good one. That was a good one. My patience kind of paid off there, but this was a really interesting candle pattern. Now that I'm really dialing in on candle patterns, I don't really get what was going on here. I feel like it's still driving higher, but it looks like it might, is this the tweezer pattern, guys, that we talked about the other day? Or is this going to drive higher? I just don't want to chase it by getting back in. Get in for a good time, not a long time. I feel like retired Fido, you can apply that to like anything, but that is honestly really funny for trading. Get in for a good time, not a long time. Well, I recovered a little bit of my red on EDHL. So, you know, hey, 25 shares, you know, you can still get stuff done. I'm going to add that into my trade review and see where we're at for damage. Cuz I'm still red, right? But we'll see. I just want to tag that trade. This has been a very interesting day, guys. I don't feel the urgency though. I'm like, eh. All right, so that was a high of day breakout. Strange candle pattern after breakout. Look later. I'm just kind of, I put notes for my recap and also to kind of, all right, so right now I'm still red. I'm down 20 bucks, but that helped me recover a little bit of my red. Ooh, Stargazer, nice. Nice. No, retired Fido, I don't hold them for the long term. These are like in and out scalping trades, you know? But I did give this one a little time to work, thinking that it was going to break 14. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this. Now, this is where VWAP actually is helping. Because look at this. Once it broke this high of day, it's driving higher. So we're here. But this pattern in here is kind of confusing to me. A lot of tails. I know. I know. There was one day where I had like 24 people watching at the same time. I was like, oh my goodness. I'm like, but I think it is helpful to watch other people trade, because when I'm not live streaming, I try to watch other people trade too. I like to hear their thought process. Like, I'm new, I don't know what I'm doing, but hey, if it helps you to see what I'm thinking and what I'm looking at, you know, and I like to hear what you guys are thinking, you know. But don't worry, retired Fido, I'm not looking at these as like long term. This is small cap momentum scalping, kind of. Yeah, I'm really, so, you know, I'm a warrior wannabe. I follow Ross Cameron, and he does say, like, what's the most obvious stock of the day? Although he said that yesterday he didn't see an obvious stock right away until DSY. But this seems like the one that I really want to watch. There's a 12-12 pattern here, extremely bullish over 15. 12-12. What's a 12-12? 12. There's a 12-12 pattern in here. I'm going to have to, this is great. Patterns. 12-12 pattern. So this week I'm focusing on candlestick shapes and length. I'm really trying to understand the candlesticks. Next week I'm going to focus on candlestick patterns. So if you want to hear me struggle through my learning process over on Substack, there, Trade with Raven on Substack. But I document my weekly goal, and I kind of use that as like my own personal journal to struggle through my weekly goal. But I always pick a weekly goal because I feel like that helps push my learning a little bit further. I feel like I get to go deeper into a topic instead of just seeing something and skimming over it. When I focus, not 12-12, it's one toe. Okay, one toe, 1-2, 1-2. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. 1-2, 1-2. Got it. 1-2, 1-2. Thank you for clarifying that. Now I've got this awesome list of chart patterns that I am going to explore next week. So I'm working on candlestick shapes this week. And specifically yesterday, I was like, all right, the light bulb moment that came on yesterday was that one of my viewers, I don't know, it might be one of you that are on here today, said they come in pairs. And that was absolutely mind-blowing because I started to realize that everything has an inverse. So then I was looking at hammers and inverted hammers for when there's a downtrend, looking for a bullish reversal, and then the hanging man and this shooting star for when there's an uptrend and a bearish reversal. So because I realized yesterday, I feel so dumb that this hadn't occurred to me, but that context matters. You might have the same candle shape that's going to signal something different if you're on the uptrend versus the downtrend. Probably completely obvious to those of you who are more experienced traders, but PPCB is trying to come back up. Okay, let's see. CB. So this is why I wanted to put this way VWAP back on my chart, because I wanted to be able to trade a break of VWAP. This is where I think VWAP is helpful, because I was trying to guess, like, where's VWAP? Where is it? And honestly, I would have guessed here because it seems like a pretty obvious break, like above, below. That's what I would have guessed probably. But what I like about having VWAP on the chart is then I can say, all right, do I want to trade the VWAP reclaim? Which is when the price falls below VWAP and then regains it. So this is one that I want to explore more. Maybe not today, but I want to explore them more. And I actually need to have a page for setups. Let's see. So I have I'm a bullet journaler. And so I always have my paper journal. That helps me. That way I don't forget something if I can't transfer it to TradesViz right away. But my data showed, for those of you who are new here, my data has been showing that I'm doing best on setups that are breaks over levels of resistance. So I've been kind of eliminating the setups that are costing me a lot of money. Like, I wanted to be good at bull flag pullbacks, but I was hemorrhaging money. I'm going to be honest, hemorrhaging money. It's like intellectually, I understand the anatomy of the setup, but I was getting too many false breakouts. Something about it I don't understand. There's something I don't get about it. So maybe that's one to trade in the simulator and try to get better at it. I don't know. I mean, that would be easy for me to switch to the simulator during market hours and just trade bull flag pullbacks and see if I could get better at them and figure out what my problem is, because my accuracy rate was only 53% over 105 bull flag pullbacks. And I was down like $3,000 on those. Like, that killed my P&L for the year. Although my P&L doesn't seem to be creeping up like I thought it would when I got rid of that. So maybe that's not my main problem. So EDHL broke down through this level of support. But now let me see if I can draw a trend line. Is that really helpful in this case? I think it is. Although this isn't really clearly following a simple trend line. But I guess if it breaks this trend line, you know. So this was the high of day I was trying to break through. Wow, I was patient through this. I was like, I might have another red day. I mean, another red trade, and then I have to scale down to like 10 shares. Yeah, so this is one, if it comes up to VWAP, I might try to trade break a VWAP. TGL, okay, I'm going to take that off. VRA. Again, here, I'm not sure VWAP is really helpful because it would be pretty obvious to me that this is struggling. And I would have guessed, this is what I would have guessed. I would have guessed that VWAP was down here or down here. But I guess once it broke this level of support, because I've been trying to guess where VWAP is now for like 2 weeks. I would have guessed that VWAP was down here. I would have guessed that it was trading above here and then below here, but that's what I would have guessed there. All right, so I'm still fascinated by EDHL. I'm only trading with 25 shares. I'm still down 20 bucks on the day, but LASE catalyst and above VWAP. I don't know why it's asking me to sometimes show the comments and other times not. That's really weird. Okay, so let's see. LASE catalyst and above VWAP. Nice. The catalyst thing, it's like lately so many stocks are moving up without a catalyst. I've traded LASE before, LASE. Ooh, this is good news though. A completed final assembly of its laser shield anti-drone. I love drone stuff. I love drone stuff because it's so related to the military stuff, the war, the conflict, and I feel like that's hot. Space stuff and military stuff. I'm all about it, especially drones. But the float is, well, the shares outstanding are a little higher than I usually go for. I have traded this before. I'm pretty sure I've traded this. I don't have my trades on here right now, but you can see I was keeping an eye on it at a higher level. Remove drawing. All right. So EDHL making another attempt up. Let's see. I want to look at it on the 5-minute. Okay, this looks cleaner on the 5-minute, right? You've got a long pullback here, a pullback here. Did break 1550. But it doesn't have news. It's the thing I don't like. It doesn't have news. LASE does have good news. See, this is what confuses me about the news thing. I like to have a catalyst, but look at EDHL on like no news. You're looking for LASE over 260. Okay. Is that because you're looking for an early break over the high, or I know some of you like to get in beforehand to get more profit. So you're looking for it to break this level, which kind of makes sense. This looks like an anomaly almost, but Oh, oh, look at that. Look at that. It's going to break. I'm in at 271, 270. So I got in at the breakover high of day. But it popped up, rejected. I'm in for 25 shares. So if you got in Stargazer at 260, you're probably green right now. $269, $270, $268. It's just hovering right under $270. Yeah, well, you can't use a market order right now. Yep, you can't use a market order right now on Thinkorswim. I don't think anyone can, right? Until so we can only use limit orders, right? But I have hotkeys set up, so I can use my hotkeys. I know. I know. It's not great. I'm trying not to hold my breath. All right. That was a red trade. That was a bummer. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of sellers. The volume's pulling back though with so it's when it does that, and this is the one thing I did learn from doing all those bull flag pullbacks. When it's pulling back, it's either going to keep going lower or pressure's going to build and it's going to break out. But I never could quite get when it's going to do one versus the other. All right, so I'm going to reduce my shares to 10 because that was a red trade. This is how I keep managing my risk, right? That happens so often. Oh my God. That happens so often in Legos. I think it will. I think it will. I think it's going to break that level. See? But this volume candle, the price is popping back up, but the volume candle is not. I'm only trading with 10 shares now because I had a red trade, so I'm reducing it. And that way, if I'm on a red streak, I'm minimizing the damage to myself. So the price is popping up, but the volume's not. See? I'm waiting to see if a candle closes above. We have 10 more seconds. I'm only in for 10 shares. How much damage can I do? Yeah, this is choppy though. So this candle is a hanging man. So wait, if there's an uptrend and you have a hanging man, that's a bearish reversal? So a lot of you use alarms. Okay. Well, I'm getting mauled on this, but whatever. Okay, so I have done that. I have set alarms. So if you're watching something and you think it's going to go up, you set an alarm to let you know, oh, it's moving. I feel like this is getting a little cloudy for me. I'm in at 273. Ooh, okay. Oh, flip-flop. That's great. Okay, so this is breaking the trend line kind of here. I know I should be feeling a lot more urgency about what I'm doing, but I'm just really trying to focus on learning. I'm in at 273.5 for 10 shares. EDHL. What? It did. It did. All right, so but I'm in LASE, so I have to finish this job. Wow, I can see that. I can see the price over here. It's like 1620, 1627. Okay, I just got out because I don't know. I don't trust it. All right, so I'm losing track a little bit of where I'm at. So that was LASE. That was supposed to be a high of day breakout, but I kind of rode the pullback. Hoping it would pop up again over high of day, but okay, so now this is high of day. Whoops. So that was a break-even trade, but I'm going to go back up to 25 shares. Okay. Wow, this is interesting. This is really interesting. Yeah, I mean, that was, you know, a very tiny, tiny, tiny green trade. It's like grinding higher, right? But I don't know. Like I said, I should be feeling way more urgency about this whole thing. Like, red day, whatever. I'm just, you know what it is? It's scaling my shares has really helped to take the stress out of it. Like, I'm like, whatever. Like, it's going to be a minimal red day anyway. I'm just going to trade the things that I like and not overthink it. But I am going to I'm going to tag my trades. So let's see. What do I've got here? LASE, the first one. What was the first one? Shoot. That was I think they were both high of day breakouts. So I didn't write it down. I didn't write it down. Rode out the pullback to exit green. All right. I think LASE is going to keep pushing higher, but this is more of a grinder, right? Look, it keeps tapping this level. I think it's going to break 280, but I don't know. EDHL is more interesting to me for some reason. Oh, here it goes. It's trying to go back up. Look at that, tapping that level. So I'm in at 1706 with 25 shares. EDL is wild. Breathe. Breathe, breathe. And I'm just, honestly, I'm going to try to put my P&L out of my head because I'm just going to try to trade the things that I see. And since I'm trading with small share size, hopefully that will minimize the damage. I'm not going to think too much about it. Definitely hesitating here. Wow. 115.90. Oh, okay. I'm seeing it tap 16 again. 16. Oh, 16. Yep, on the tape. It's battling right around 16. 15.90 and 78. Yeah, like right over here. Maybe I'm being too tight with my support, but I'm thinking that this resistance here, it tapped that level for support. So maybe, but you're saying like here where the trend line is more support, right? This is where I think VWAP is helpful. It's like, okay, it's above VWAP. That's not a guarantee, but I'm going to let it work. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm in for 25 shares at 1706. I don't know. I'm going to let it work. I never let things work. I'm always rushing and I don't know. I'm going to let it work. See what happens. Right. That's the thing. It's so subjective, right? Everything's so subjective. Ooh, nice stargazer. But see, the volume's pulled back, but now it's popping up. The volume's pulled back. So let's see if people start to jump in if it breaks high of day again. I don't know. My attitude is so like laissez-faire. Is that the right word? Lazy. Lazy attitude. All right, I'm green now, kind of. Oh my goodness, I clicked the wrong thing. Oh my God, guys. I did that mistake again. I'm in for like way too many shares. Okay. Kind of freaking out right now. So here we go. Okay. Nope, I'm only in for 25. Okay. Whew. I clicked in the wrong thing again, but I caught it. I caught it. Oh, thanks, Flip Flop. You're like, you've got the popcorn. You're like, I'm just watching the crazy. Hey, I'm just figuring it out in real time, guys. Figuring it out in real time. So it did have a pop in volume. I didn't take profit. I'm gonna try to see if I can kind of let it work. This could be a colossal mistake, but I know that mistake the other day. I was like, it was like 1,500 shares. Let's see. I'm in at 1706. If it Wow, look at this. It's just really like weird. Like now that I'm focusing on candlestick patterns, I feel like it's just weird. Like I can't figure out what's going on here. I mean, this looks like a pullback, but I don't know. Probably should have sold when I was green, but yeah, probably should have sold when I was green, but I thought it was going to pop sustain over 18, but then it kind of these candles looked good to me, but then it just kind of popped down. I'm in at 1706 for 25 shares. This doesn't look good. Get a bigger red candle, but it doesn't have a ton of volume on it. But it is heading in the wrong direction for sure. Big time. Oh, I might get stopped out, guys. $15.50, $15.29, $15.33. So maybe everyone else is looking at 15 for support too. Maybe it'll pop back up. Am I going to ride out this pullback? Look at that. That battling right under 16, 15.98, 15.93, 16.03. So that candle at the bottom there over here is on a downtrend. That's a hammer, which should signal a bullish reversal. So let's see if it does. If this is a hammer, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Right? I mean, it just tapped that 15 support. But I don't know, it looks like it's losing the battle. I got to be ready. If it breaks 15, I feel like it's done for. So this Trying to, that's a hammer, right? So that is supposed to signal a bullish reversal, but it didn't do that. Okay, it popped above 16. Popped above 16. Okay. Wow, 16 is like, unfortunately, I'm in at 17. 06. But you can really see that battle right around 16 right here. Lower and lower volume. So it might break out over that level, or just people might just keep selling and it breaks 15. I got to be ready to getting out at the break of the evening star, which is the 9:05 candle. Right here, this one right here? No, this one. Well, that's about when I got in. Because I got in for a break of high of day. But this candle, you're saying this would have been the reversal to look for? Is that what you're saying, Stargazer? It's lost a lot of volume, a lot of steam, but it's still kind of hovering around 16. I really don't want to be holding this through the market open, but SMCI reversal today. Ooh. Well, this battle around 16 is pretty fierce. Oh no, I think I got in over here. Where did I get in? The break of the low of that candle. Oh, of this candle right here? Got it. Okay. Definitely learning something. I guess I have no urgency, it's fine if I'm red today attitude is a little bit interesting. All right, so looks like it's popping back up. It's now around 16 and a half. I'm seeing 1660, 1668 on the tape, 1669. Back to 1650. A little pop of volume there. Okay, I got out green. I know I probably, if it breaks high of day, I can get back in, but that was a tiny green trade. So because that was green, I will increase my share size to 50. And that was EDHL. I really rode that out. Well, it was a small green trade. Let's see. Export to file. Maybe having a relaxed attitude helped me feel less anxious about the whole thing. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm clearly not making less mistakes, but maybe being less stressed about it is causing me to maybe watch the charts a little bit more. All right, so I'm only down 1775 now. This is good. I'm digging myself out of my little hole. So I rode this out, rode it out. I was ready to stop out at support. That's what I was looking for. I was ready to stop out at support. I gave it a chance to move. And it did come back up. So that's good. I'm slowly digging myself out of my little hole. If I get a red trade, I am downsizing my shares. If I get a green trade, I'm sizing up, and that's keeping me, if I'm on a red streak, then I'm just going to I'm not going to like murder myself in terms of being in a huge red hole. But if I keep getting green trades, then I'll be able to size back up. So let's see, SMCI. Oh yeah, super micro. Yep. Okay, but this is easy to borrow. I'm not saying I won't trade it, but I'm very careful with easy to borrow because it does put downward pressure on the price, right? But look at this. We have, okay, what's the news? Let's see. It says, investors digested the company's multi-billion-dollar equity financing plan to fund the AI server demand. Supermicro stock came under heavy pressure Wednesday after the company unveiled a financing package that could raise roughly $7 billion. The move sparked concerns about shareholder dilution, sending the stock to one of its steepest one-day declines in months. Okay, so it declined a lot yesterday, and it looks like maybe, but again, I don't want to overdo the VWAP thing. I don't want to get stuck in that loop again where all I do is look at VWAP. But honestly, I would have guessed without VWAP on, I would have guessed that this was above VWAP, and I would have guessed that this was below VWAP. I would have been wrong on this and right on this, I guess. This is priced higher. This is like higher float, priced higher. Thinking this is like more of a swing trade because, you know, you've got a really strong news situation, right? You've got a dip. Like, I mean, I'm not a swing trader, so you can just ignore what I'm saying. But I'm thinking that this could be a potential swing trade because there's a level of support here, right? And then this is the high. This looks like a potential swing trade to me, but I don't know I'm not experienced with swing trading, so. I was talking with my boyfriend about it yesterday because he swing trades. He day trades too, but he swing trades. And it's like so different, which is why we do talk every day about trading, but like we have different, some overlapping strategies, but a lot of different strategies. So But this seems like a swing trade. Again, please don't take what I'm saying as advice. I don't know what I'm doing, clearly. I'm red. But EDHL, I haven't even checked the scanner to see what else is popping up because I've been so focused on EDHL. I'm just finding it very interesting. And maybe I should be more focused on making a profit today, but for some reason, I'm just like, whatever. All right, so this did break that trend line and now, but it didn't break this level of support really, just briefly here. LASE might be making a run for $3. And the market opens in how many minutes? 8 minutes. So maybe there'll be like an influx of stuff moving. You know, I mean, it's not crazy to think that I could make back my $17. It's not crazy. I could make back my $17. But today feels more about really watching the charts and trying to digest what's happening and look at the points of reversal and the patterns. I've got a nice list of patterns going. I've got I'm really focusing on candlestick shapes, but I've got a really good list of patterns brewing and setups. So I think what I need to do is I need to have 3 separate lists: patterns, shapes, and setups. And then maybe, you know, yeah, keeping the indicators off has been helpful in focusing on that. So I'm going to be honest. I think the reason why I keep watching EDHL is because it's above VWAP. I think it's giving me the confidence to say, all right, well, it's still trading above VWAP. And so I think it's going to, oh no, this is LASE, sorry, LASE. I think the reason why I feel like in this, well, the same thing with EDHL. That's why I thought I was looking at that. It's above VWAP. And that's kind of make me, and look at this. Someone was talking about waves, which I still don't quite understand. I think you're talking about these, right? This is the third wave, right? Because I used to look at pullbacks because I was always thinking, oh, I'm going to trade the break off the pullback. But I was highly unsuccessful at that. But here, yeah, it's like wave. I think that's what you guys have been talking about. But I'm just very fascinated by EDHL today. I feel like EDHL and LASE have similar trajectories, but now LASE is trending sideways. So I have a small red day. I have only traded 2, let's see, I've only traded 2 stocks today, and I am red on both of them. LASE, I'm down $4.17, and EDHL, I'm down $13. 5 waves. Let's see. It's above VWAP, but way above. It should return to VWAP eventually, right? Okay, looks like a pole with a flag. Yep. These, when I was trading pullbacks, I would say, oh yeah, this is a pull, pullback, pull, bull flag, pull, bull flag. Leading diagonal. Leading diagonal. What's a leading diagonal? When you guys mention things that I don't understand, I write it down. A leading diagonal. 5 waves. What am I not seeing? So you see 5 waves. One, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I do think this has the potential to go up. I mean, we have 3 minutes for till the market opens. I do think this has the potential to go up. Oh, look at this. PPCB is trying to break VWAP. So this is where I think VWAP would be really helpful for me. Yeah, we only have 3 minutes, so I think this would be super helpful to have VWAP for these situations where you're looking for something to break VWAP. Okay, so I'm going to take this off my list because there's a little price a little high. The float's a little high for me. I'm putting my money on EDHL today. Be careful here. Oh, with EDHL, because it is extended off of VWAP, but again, I don't want to overuse VWAP, you know, but it's touching this support diagonal and it still hasn't broken this level of support. I think it could go above 18 when the market opens. But flip-flop, you can't drop a bomb like that. Like, be careful. You got to explain, like, why. Can't just drop a bomb on us. Be careful could be like, watch out for alligators. Could be anything. Hi. Good morning. Good morning, son. All right, let's see. So we have 1 minute to market open, guys. Good luck. And let's see. I don't know. I just really am not stressed about today. I'm just, I'm up to 50 shares. If I get a green trade, I'll go up to 100. If I get a red trade, I'll go down to 25. I am in the hole right now, but I don't know why I'm just like I'm just going to look for opportunities and not overthink it. Managing my risk is really helping. So that is helping me a lot to not freak out. MTEN, but that looks so crazy. Some of this stuff looks nuts to me. EDHL and LASE had the cleanest price action, but LASE, this is where VWAP is helpful because it's tapping VWAP. Okay, good luck, everybody. Yes, yes. So I learned that the hard way, flip-flop. Oh my God. I learned that the hard way because all these orders are coming through from like orders that people had set, like limit orders and stuff, right? So I like to wait for things to settle out a little bit. EDHL is dropping, LASE is dropping. But I'm really curious if it breaks this level. Let's see. Why stocks? I don't know. I mean, that's what I started with, so I might branch out to futures or something, Forex maybe eventually. I'm interested. Oh, EDHL halted going down. Yeah, so I like stocks. But I do want to branch out because I was considering Forex, I was considering futures, but you know, I've always traded stocks for the long-term investments. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I want to get really good at this and get consistently profitable at this. And then I'll probably start branching out into more advanced strategies and also into, I'd like to branch out into futures and Forex eventually. That's kind of, you know, a longer term goal. But I'm a minimalist, so I'm going to try to focus on one thing at a time, you know. I'm like a one thing at a time person. What percentage of my stocks? I'm not sure I understand the question. Okay, now this is where I do think that VWAP is helpful. At this point, I feel, well, it resets at the market open, right? But I do feel like at this point, it's helpful. I'm not sure I understand the question. How many percentage of stocks? Or like, do you mean what my P&L is today? Today I'm red. For the market open, I'm down $17.75, and my accuracy is at 71%. So my accuracy is always high, but it's my red trades are too big. My red trades are too big. Got to learn how to let my winners go a little bit. All right, so EDHL halted going down. I am not surprised, but down, not so great. PPCB is up. Okay, so I'm going to flip to the 1 minute. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on the fourth candle, but I don't trade the opening range breakout per se, but I kind of track it because I do feel like the first 5 minutes are crazy. And so I think it helps to kind of see what's going on in the first 5 minutes. So, and this is where I feel like VWAP definitely starts to be more helpful. So is this the tweezer tops, guys? These are the tweezer tops, right? This could be a potential flat top breakout, though. It had really, you know, it has news, a repurchase plan. Is that good news, though? Okay, it says that it's good news generally because the leadership believes the company is undervalued and has excess cash. It boosts financial metrics like earnings per share. So that is good news. That is good news. And I'm thinking it could try to head up for high of day, but now we've got 5 candles, and this tweezer top thingy is the high of the opening 5-minute opening range. LASE bounce down, looks like it's popping back up. So this is where I feel like VWAP does become a lot more helpful because it is calculated, I think, starting at market open. And so I guess if I want to rely on VWAP, this is a good sign. It's broken above VWAP. This could have been a trade, right? A break over VWAP. But this is the 5-minute opening range high. Oh, EDHL is moving again. Let's see. Okay, it broke this level of support. It broke the trend line support. But I'm really curious what's going to happen with EDHL. It halted up. It halted up. Wow, JZXN. Wow, okay. All right. No news. This right now I'm negative. I'm down $17 today, and I trade in the U.S. stock market. I don't trade the S&P 500, but I do check it out every day. You know, see where it's at. But I don't trade the S&P. Good questions. Good question, son. All right, so I'm not sure where you get the $14 level of support, but yes, clearly there was one there, right? Clearly, because it tapped that level and popped up. So now I'm generally scared to trade halts, but I think this has potential. But it is the second halt. It is the second halt. Hold on one quick second. Just making sure that we don't have street cleaning today. I don't want my kid's car to get towed. Oh no, today's Thursday. Okay, forget it. Today's Thursday. I panicked for a second. I thought there were, it's just the trash guys. Okay. All right, so let's regroup here. PPCB, say that 5 times fast, is popping up. There are a couple of good things popping up, right? I missed this breakout, but that's okay. All right, so LASE, I'm not loving that right now. JZXN. Hold off on that. EDHL. Good flow today. Wonder when EDHL is going to resume. I'm going to put my volume on the, there we go. I hope that doesn't bother you guys. Let me know if that bothers you guys. Right. That's what I like about it. Ooh, EDHL is moving again. All right, let's see what happens with this. I'm going to be kind of cautious. Did it halt? It halted again. I think it halted again. No? It's still moving. It did. It halted again. Yeah, I like that this is a little bit more like moving up more slowly. So I'm in PPCB at 582 with 50 shares. So I'm going to let it work a little bit. Yeah, EDHL is like, there's a lot going on there, right? A lot. Don't hold my breath. Don't hold my breath. Don't hold my breath. I'm trying not to hold my breath. Oops. Not clicked in the window. So I'm giving it a chance to work, but okay. So I took profit because honestly, I just kind of wanted to flip green. No, I don't have it up there, son, because I have other stuff in that account, so it's not really accurate. So, oh, these are the 3 white soldiers, Stargazer. Yeah, so I don't keep, once I've gotten rid of all the other stuff in my brokerage account, then I'll probably keep my P&L up, but it's not accurate right now at all, so it doesn't really help. Dangerously sweet. It was kind of dangerously sweet because it was up more than 19, but but maybe not caring is better, you know, like not caring so much. I coach athletes, and I told one of my students last night, who is really amazing, I said, you gotta care like a little bit less. Have that kind of like, I don't care, whatever. Sometimes caring a little bit less is helpful. All right, so I'm gonna export that. That was PPCB, and that was a Hive day breakout. Let's see. So I need SCMI to flip. Got it. You should use leverage. Oh no, I don't want to use leverage. Nope. Thank you though. I am not consistently profitable. I don't think anyone should be using leverage if they're not consistently profitable. That's just me. When I'm consistently profitable, even then, I don't know if I would do it. I feel like that's too risky. I'm very debt averse. Thanks, Aligos. Yeah, I felt like that was kind of, I was trying to be patient and let it work. The dark cloud cover at 9:46 a.m. should have got you out. Right here. This is the dark cloud cover, right? Now I have that written down. Where did I put that? Right here. Oh, I have to put that on my candlesticks, dark cloud cover, because I had written in my notes. So this was the dark cloud cover, right? Right here. Oh, so you're saying I should have held until the dark cloud cover. Okay. So, you know, hey guys, I'm still learning, but just trying to figure out what works for me. So I'm just going to import my trades. Now, because that was green, I will increase my shares to 100. My share size is directly related to my last trade, but 100 is my cap. Okay, so I have $1.25. Woo woo. $1.25, 75% accuracy. All right, that's where I'm at today. I am barely profitable, but hey, I am green. Woo woo. All right, so that last trade was a high of day breakout. And I let the trade work and set stop at support. Okay, so I do write notes on most of my trades so that I can, when I do my recap, I can figure out what I'm doing. So now this one, first pullback, second pullback, this is the third pullback, and it broke support. So, and it probably broke the support trend line, right? Yeah. So I guess I got out right in time. EDHL. Yeah, this broke the trend line too, and it's still halted down. That stinks. All right, JXZN. Well, this is interesting. This is VWAP chop, right? I did a video on this, but when I didn't have VWAP on my charts, I wasn't really like paying attention. I was guessing like, oh, this might be VWAP chop, but this is what I was talking about in my video on VWAP chop. It's just kind of driving along VWAP. Yeah, so let's see, what's the dominant candle? The dominant candle, this is this red candle, right? There was a long green one and another long green one here. So up until this point, the dominant candles were long green candles, but now this big red candle. So dark cloud cover. I'm gonna add that to my arsenal here. It's a oh, so that's a pattern. Dark cloud cover is a pattern, not a candle shape. So wait a minute, I'm gonna put that on my pattern list. Dark cloud cover. It's a 2-candle bearish reversal pattern used in technical analysis to signal a potential shift from an uptrend to a downtrend. It gets its name from the idea that a sunny bullish day is overcast by a dark cloud of selling pressure. Oh, I like the names of the candle patterns. Okay. Thank you, Stargazer. Yeah, so I'm really working on candlestick shapes, but of course patterns are extremely related to that. So next week I'll be working on patterns, but I'm gathering I'm making a list. All right, so here, PPCB. So now this is where a VWAP is helpful, I think, because I'm like, okay, it broke this level of support, but it is trading above VWAP. So I think like maybe it'll come back at some point, you know, maybe that's worth watching. And maybe this is where I would set an alert, right? You guys were talking about alerts. So maybe I would set an alert at this level of support. Where is it? Create alert. So if I create alert, it sets it right at that level. When the price goes at or above that level, notify with sound and create. All right, I'm going to try the alert thing. I have done alerts before, but like on my Bitcoin, you know, it would be like, all right, if it hits this level, you know, I'm going to start watching it again. So maybe this is, you know, if it pops back up above this level of resistance, maybe I will look for something to happen. I'm just like, look, oh my God, I wasn't paying attention and look at that. Wow, guys. It's a pretty clear, I'm going to be honest. If I were trying to guess where VWAP was, I probably would have said, yeah, no, that makes sense, right? It popped up. Yeah. I would have said this is above VWAP, probably. I probably would have. GLXG. You guys are kind of quiet, so I hope you're doing a lot of trading. I hope you're getting a lot of trading in. Ooh, look at this. This is, again, where VWAP is nice, because I'm thinking, okay, here's a level here. It's kind of breaking that level. Wait, was that my alert? Look at that. It broke that level. Oh, the alert thing worked, guys. Thanks. I forgot about that. All right, so okay, I'm in at 585. I'm in at 585. I'm in for 100 shares, so this is kind of hurting. Because I saw the volume popping up, so I thought, oh, this is good, but the volume is still high in this candle. Now the volume's pulling back a little bit. I was over anticipating the break over 6, I think. Didn't catch my order. Oh my God, falling knife, guys, falling knife. That was brutal. Yes, Eligos, you're right. The large red candle. You're right. Large red candle. Large red candle. You're right. I didn't heed the large red candle. I was up $1 and now I'm, ugh. Okay, so I'm going to set my shares to 50. Got to manage my risk. I'm going to put that trade in now so that I can tag it and I got stuck. You're right, I didn't heed the red candle. Yeah, that hurt. That hurt. Whew. Okay, so that was a break over resistance. I was anticipating the break over 6. So I'm going to say, I anticipated the break over 6. I didn't heed the large red candle preceding it. Preceding it, and I I should have used a market order. When it didn't catch my limit order, I should have used a market order to get out. Order to get out. Well, that was lots of mistakes. I got out way, let's see, where was I when I got out? I got out at 478. That was 90 cents a share. Aligos, you're so funny. You're like, I was holding my breath on that one. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Okay, so I shouldn't have gotten in it at the first place. You're right, Aligos. The large red candle. I ignored that. I was so caught up on the break of over 6, and I anticipated it instead of waiting for confirmation too. So that was kind of brutal. All right, guys. Well, that was a pooper way of ending my live stream. But I might keep trading. I do often keep trading, but I think that's it for the live stream today. You know, I was doing so well, but yeah, you're right, Aligos. It was the big red candle. I didn't heed it. All right, guys, I will do my recap in a little while, and then I'll be back tomorrow. I'm super interested to see what's going to happen tomorrow with the SpaceX IPO. So, and honestly, is it bad that I don't really care that much that I'm red? I don't know. I feel very like lazy about the whole thing today. Anyway, all right, guys, have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.